Hey everyone, it's Ally and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a slightly different kind of video. It's still going to be fragrance related, but this is going to be a little bit more of a story time about the time that my fragrance almost killed a lady, apparently, while I was working at a health food store. I touched a little bit about this in one of my last videos and I got some requests to talk a little bit more about it. It's not my typical style of video, but I figured why not like give it a shot, see if you guys are interested in hearing. So if you guys are interested in hearing about how I almost killed a weird, racist, probably living on a compound in a cult lady with my fragrance, then definitely stay tuned because that's what I'm going to be getting into today. It's definitely, it was a scene. It was a scene. Let me tell you, it was a scene. And yeah. So my story starts, it was about a year ago. I was working at this one health food store in the town that I live in. And I really love that job. I was at the time a supervisor, but I was going into management and I was working with the other supervisor that was there before she ended up leaving. And we were both working together. She was a friend of mine and we were both closing this night. And I think it was like about the hour before closing that this incident took place. There was this lady that I would see every once in a while. She would come shopping and she would show up every like month or so. And she always showed up either the hour before closing or the half hour before closing. And she always bought 2 carts worth of stuff. And it was like piled up to the brim. Like she would buy tons and tons of food. Her purchases were literally like over $1,000 every time she was in the store. Which for a health food store, like 3 things will run you like $100. This store was expensive. Shit, I couldn't even shop at my own store without my 20% off discount that I got for being an employee. Like it was expensive. And this girl, like this lady, would come in with her daughter and they would buy so much stuff all at once. And it was always once a month and like right before closing. Well, this lady came in the store this night and every time she comes in, like she always gave me like heebie-jeebie vibes and I'm very much a vibe-ridden person. So if your vibes like throw me off, I tend to try to avoid you because I don't know. I feel like I can pick up on vibes pretty good. And if your vibes kind of freak me out, I sort of try to avoid you as a person. It's just the way I am. I'm very like vibe driven. This lady's vibes always skeeved me out. Her and her daughter just gave me like culty vibes. I was like not here for it. There's just something really spooky about this lady from the way they dressed, the way they carried themselves. I never heard the daughter ever talk. She was very much like a mannequin in a way, who would push the cart though. It was very odd. They were a very odd they were just very odd people. But she came in and it's like the hour, I think it was at this point, the half hour before closing, and she's piling up 2 carts worth of stuff. So already I know like, oh gosh, she's gonna get a bunch of shit. And I was just happy I wasn't at the register. I was front facing the store. My friend, she was at the register because it was just 2 of us. She's working it, I'm front facing the store. I'm just like, as long as I don't have to deal with her, thank God. And I think there was like a total of 5 people or so in the store. So it wasn't too bad, but I'm here going front facing things and I went to go front face the coolers. And the lady is at the cooler also and she's grabbing all the milk we have, like literally all the milk, and just piling it into her cart. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I go to the door that's next to the milk and I start front facing all the different cans of drinks that we have. Just sort of taking my time because I know she's like hoarding on the other end. So I'm not trying to bother her and I'm just moving things forward. And as I'm doing that, she literally stops, turns to me, gives me the death stare, and she's like, can I effing help you? Am I in your effing way? And I'm just like, whoa, bitch, like, calm down. Like, no. I was like, no, you're fine. Like, I'm just front facing over here. Like, like, what the hell? Like, it was just such a weird response that I wasn't ready for it. And she's just like, and gives me like this stank eye. And I'm just like, okay. And I just like walk around her and keep going on with front facing. I make my way down to the pastry area where there's like a cheese island and a pastry case. I'm like getting ready to shut down the pastry I'm getting ready to shut down the pastry case and I'm front facing all the different cheeses that we have. And this guy comes up and I didn't know at the time, but this was the owner's son. He comes up, he's like super goofy and just like really funny. And we strike up a conversation and I literally, I don't remember how it happened, but we got into this huge rap battle in the middle of the aisle about cheese. So I start dropping it like it's hot and like talking about mozzarella, and he starts dropping it like it's hot and like drops a rhyme about like Parmesan, and I'm like dropping it like we're just going back and forth, literally Gouda, freaking Munster, freaking mozzarella, freaking cheddar, freaking like we're just like hamming it up and like laughing like hyenas in the aisle and just rapping about cheese until one of us gave up. But nobody was like giving up. Like I didn't want to lose because I was like, dude, I'm a rap battle goddess. Like I'm not about to like stop the rap battle. And he didn't want to stop because he didn't want to lose. And I honestly don't remember how we got into this rap battle. We were just like talking about cheese and like one thing led to another. And before we knew it, we were just rapping about cheese. We're going at it pretty hard and just like laughing the entire time and just going back and forth, back and forth. And I hear a page over the intercom, and it's the girl at the register, my friend, and she's calling me up so I can help her and open up another register. And I figured, okay, crazy lady probably just came up to her line and she probably has all that stuff and there's people behind her, I'm sure. So I go up, I turn the corner and sort of peek, and I see that the crazy lady is like checking out and she has all this stuff. She's got like 2 carts worth of food, and there was people lined up in the back. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go open the second register. As I turn the corner and I'm about 25 feet away from the register, the crazy lady turned around, took one look at me, and she screams off the top of her lungs, anybody but her, anybody but her, and just starts yelling and coughing up a lung. And she's like, I'm allergic to her. Her perfume is so strong, and is literally coughing a lung up. Like she's like choking. And granted, I'm 25 feet away. There's no way this dang ratchet ass HOE can smell me. Like there is no freaking way. And like it's the end of the night. Like I literally had sprayed my fragrance about 12 hours ago. Like there was no, like I could still smell it on me because it was on me, but it was not that potent. Like it still, you could smell it, but like there was no way from 25 feet this lady was smelling me and choking out. And I'm there like my jaw drops, and my friend is looking at me like, and we're both just like in shock of the scene that she's causing, and the people in line are like looking at me, and I'm feeling embarrassed. I'm feeling really like, oh shit, like this ain't the vibe, girl. This ain't the vibe. And I'm just there like feeling really insecure at this point about my fragrance, feeling really just sort of like embarrassed because of the situation that's going on. And this lady is causing a huge scene, coughing up a lung, acting like she's dying, acting like she's gonna die if I'm anywhere near her. And I'm just like, okay. And my friend is just like she's just looking at me, shaking her head like, as this lady is like being a damn fool. So I'm just like, okay, that's cool. And I'm already embarrassed and kind of in shock about the whole thing. I turn to the next person in line, which happens to be the owner's son, which at the time I didn't know it was the owner's son. And I turned to him and I'm like, I can help you on the next register. I was like, wait a second. And I was being very snooty and sarcastic at this point to like try to get back at the lady. I'm like, wait a second, sir. Are you allergic to fragrance? No? Okay, come with me. And I said it just like that, like super, just like I was being kind of bitch about it. But at the same time, I was embarrassed. And I was just kind of like, holy crap, this lady just like tried to embarrass me in front of everybody. Pretty sure the lady was just prejudiced. Pretty sure she lived on a compound because she gave straight up culty vibes. She dressed like a dirty hippie. Like she was just very, very odd. There was definitely something going on that was mentally wrong with this lady, I feel like. And her daughter was just as weird. Her daughter never said anything, was just literally just like blank face, just very mannequin-like. Both of them very, very odd people. But I go and I open up the next register literally right next to my friend because we're back to back. So I'm right there, like, I'm hucking up a lung because I'm allergic to her. And, you know, I pulled that little stunt with a guy and I'm just like, I can help you over here as long as you're not allergic to me. Follow me. And he's laughing his head off because he just thinks it's funny because he's literally watching this lady be a damn fool. And he comes to the register and the lady starts screaming at my friend, is she making fun of me? Oh my God, is she making fun of me? How rude. And she's like, I'm gonna talk to the manager and blah, 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 blah. And like causing a scene again. And she's like, ma'am, my friend is like, ma'am, I don't think she's making fun of you. She's just making sure she's not going to kill anybody. And she's like, oh my God, I think she's making fun of me. And like causing another scene. And I'm just there like, holy shit, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired because this crazy ass patchouli smelling bitch is causing this huge scene. And she's gonna call the owner, and like the owner's son is standing in front of me and he's laughing because he can't believe what the heck is going on. And I'm just there like embarrassed but trying to play it cool, like I'm not crying inside. And I'm just like, like checking him out. And he just turns to me and he's like, I'm so sorry. He's just like, I'm so sorry you have to go through this. And I'm just like, like thanks. And yeah, this lady is just, she's still causing a scene with my friend. My friend is trying to check her out as fast as possible. Everyone in the store that's like in line behind her is like sort of looking at me, and I feel like a damn monster at this point, like a really good smelling monster, but like a monster nonetheless. Like it was just kind of excessive. Um, and yeah, this lady ends up like leaving. I remember being really sort of traumatized from the whole experience. When after she left and like we made sure she left, like me and my friend are standing there, we finished checking out the last few people. I was like in shock, and she turns to me and she's like, what the frick was that? And I was like, dude, I don't know. And I told her basically what had happened. I was like, look, like I was front facing. I stood by her. Like if my fragrance was really going to kill this woman, like she probably would have mentioned it when I was literally right next to her. I thought it was really odd that she started hucking up a lung and like dying when I was 25 feet away, not even coming up to help her. But she was perfectly fine when we were literally right next to each other, cooler to cooler. And she could smell me. Like she didn't mention my fragrance once. I had passed her multiple times when she was in the store, like still avoiding her, but passing her. She never once mentioned my fragrance. She never once said anything. It wasn't until I came up to the register that she decided to cause a scene and sort of target me in general. And it was quite the scene, honestly. Like I think there was a lot of prejudice behind the whole thing. That's just my conspiracy theory. Like there's no hard proof, but I was literally the only person of semi-color working there. So I feel like there might have been a little bit of a bias with this lady from this predominantly white town that I live in. And yeah, like it was just, it was not the vibe. I was really anticipating her calling management, like the higher ups or the owner the next day. I talked to like other people in management about it, let them know what my response was to the situation, which I thought was crucial because yes, I was really embarrassed and I reacted really weirdly about the situation, but at the same time I was really embarrassed. And like, how do you react to a situation like that other than like try to laugh about it and make a joke about it? Because it was just so crazy and left field, and like it didn't make any sense, that I was just sort of like, all right, well, I guess I'm just gonna make fun of the situation and crack jokes. But apparently the lady wasn't really liking that, just like my fragrance. And if you guys are wondering what fragrance I was wearing, when this lady coughed up a lung, it was my baby, my tried and true Deja Vu White Flower 57 from Alley. I love this fragrance. It's so freaking beautiful and so intoxicating. But this was the fragrance I was wearing the day that she hawked up a lung. I got my friend to smell me, the girl that was working the register. She said she couldn't smell it. Like she's like, I don't smell it. She's like, the only way I can smell it is if I dig my nose into your like sweater that I had on. She's like, I can kind of smell it then, but like it had become a skin scent, and this was like 12 hours after I had to put this on. So you really couldn't smell it. I'm sure you could maybe smell like a little waft of it, but nothing like this lady was claiming. She was acting like I was wearing the strongest oud patchouli fragrance in the world and just reeked of like nonsense. But yeah, this was what I was wearing. After that whole incident, this fragrance became like one of my #1 fragrances because I was like, you almost killed that commune hoe. Like, it just, every time I think of it, I just think of the time I pissed off this crazy lady who just didn't like me for some weird reason. I don't know why. But yeah, this takes me back. It gives me memories now to that day. And honestly, it's a beautiful fragrance. Like, that hoe was crazy. I don't know what the hell she was talking about. I don't know what kind of crack she was smoking, but this shit's good. This shit's real good. Definitely get your nose on this one. I did a whole dedicated video to this fragrance. It's a good one. And yeah, that's the fragrance that almost killed this crazy commune lady. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a little weird and not my typical sort of fragrance style video, but I just wanted to give you guys a story time and see if that's something that you guys are interested in. We've got a lot of crazy stories, but this particular one was just one that was for the books. Like, it was nuts. But yeah, until next time, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.